Welcome everybody to our Green Acres. I'm so glad you came over to our channel today. And if you are new to my channel, I want to introduce myself. My name is Teresa. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I'd love for you to. And also hit that notification bell so you'll be notified each time I upload a video. Thanks so much. If you haven't joined my Facebook home decor page, I'd love for you to go over and join it, and also go over and follow me on Pinterest and Instagram. Okay y'all, we are about to kick off the Christmas 2021 season. Yes, it's about time to start making those Christmas DIY projects. So to help get us in the Christmas spirit and give us some inspiration and ideas, I have pulled together over 50 of the projects that I did last year for Christmas 2020. This is an abbreviated version of the videos, but I will put the links to all of the videos in full length down in my description box. These projects today, I'm going to use the original voiceover that went with the original video. So if some of the project numbers don't match up in this video today, that's why. Also, at the end of the video, I'm going to announce the 2 winners for the Dollar Tree calendars. And I will also have a pinned comment in the top of my comments with the winners' names. I hope y'all enjoy the video. I hope y'all get lots of Christmas inspiration and ideas. And I hope I give you some ideas of things that you can start making now for the Christmas season, because it will be here before we know it. Enjoy the video, y'all. Oh, I am so excited about this video, y'all. The first project we're going to start out with, I'm going to show y'all how to make some paper bag snowflakes. First, you want to start out with 8 lunch sacks. In some of the videos I saw, some used 9, but I used 8. So you just basically want to put some glue across the bottom and down the center, and then you just want to start stacking them on top of each other.
Everything will be okay, 'cause all I wanna do is spend this holiday with you. Tomorrow it is Christmas.
Now once you get them stacked together, then you're going to want to cut a point. And this is the best way that I found to make the point, to kind of where it'll, meet up together. I just kind of folded my paper and made a little pattern, and then I'm going to cut across those creases. Next, you're going to cut your diagonals on the side. Now, I just did 1, but you can do, 2 or 3 on the side, just depending on how much of a design you want on your snowflake. And you basically just want to, like I say, cut in a V, and then you just want to make sure, they're even on both sides. And once you have your snowflake cut out, then we're going to apply some glue, and then we're going to pull it around, and we're going to secure it. Now I'm going to show you how I made a smaller one. You just cut a little bit off the top of the bag, and then you do the same thing. I just cut the top into a point, and then I cut the diagonals on the side. Now if you're working with 8 layers of paper sacks, it does get hard to cut through. So if you want to kind of make it easier on yourself, and maybe you don't have sharp enough scissors, you can also do it this way. Cut out 1, and then just lay your bottom sack down on it, and use the top one as a pattern, and you can cut it that way, and that way it may cut down a little bit. We tried it with stacking 4, and we cut out the design, and then we stacked 4 more sacks on it, and that worked well too. That was a lot easier. Ben did the one in the back. He did 3 diagonals on his, so he got real fancy with it. This was like a little family day project. They were so easy to make and so much fun. And he's going to show you how he went out and spray painted his. We wanted to try it out and just see, how well they would do if we painted it. So you can also go out, and put a light coat of spray paint on it and spray paint them any color you want. Or if you have white sacks, paper bags, and I know they make them. I just didn't have any on hand. You know, you could use white sacks and make some white ones, and I think they'd be gorgeous. So basically, I'm just going to show you some different ways you can embellish them and just kind of add to them. Now this is such a cute little project. We're going to make some little toboggan hats. These are so cute. You want to start out with a toilet paper roll or a paper towel, or you could even use a gift wrap roll. And I'm going to take some yarn, and I cut mine about 14 inches long, which mine's going to be extra long. I'd rather be too long than too short, because I can always trim at the end. But basically you're just going to loop it over the little toilet paper roll that we cut. And you'll just want to just go ahead and loop all the way around it. Now once you are done wrapping the whole toilet paper roll, you want to take a couple of cotton balls. And first we're going to push all of that, all those tails through the other end. And that way it'll kind of make you a band for your little toboggan. And once you get all that pushed up in there, just take a couple of cotton balls and put those up in there. And that way it'll just kind of give the little hat some form and give it some shape. Once you get those in there, just kind of bunch it up at the top, and we're just going to get a piece of yarn and we're going to tie it off in a knot. And now you just want to trim off the ends, make the little pom-pom on the end. These little hats are so cute. Now, if you want to embellish it, you can. I'm about to make another one and show you, and I embellished it. This is the one that I made out of some more. This was more of a fuzzy, real soft yarn that I had, and I love it. It's kind of an Angora type yarn. So it's a little bit fluffier than the other yarn I used. So basically, again, I'm just tying it around in a knot, and then I'm going to trim off the little palm at the top. And then after I get done, I'm going to put a little embellishment on. And I'm going to use an embellishment that I've showed how to make. There's a video, and I'll link the video at the end. And in my description box, I had to make these little rosettes. But I'm just going to put a little rosette on this one. And I think this is so cute. If you want to use these for ornaments, or you could, make one for your kids. You could even do them in colors, that would gear more toward if you have, a son, for boys. I think these would be so good paired on their gifts, and then that way they could keep these for years, and just always have them to put on their Christmas tree too. And you could always give these for gifts. I think this is just such a cute and unique idea, and these are so easy and quick to make. It didn't take me no time to make these.
Christmas, all the happy smiles and the wishes, and I want it all, from the lights to the mistletoe. Tell me one thing, is there anything that you're missing? I will keep you warm as soon as you remove that snow.
The first cone tree we're going to make is going to be, you're going to need a Dollar Tree tinsel tree. I bought a couple of these last year, and basically we're just going to want to cut the tinsel and just unwrap it off of the little form, and it's very easy to get the tinsel off. Once you get the tinsel off, you're left with this hard plastic form. So now we're going to take some hot glue, and I'm using a scrap piece of fabric. This is an old karate suit that my neighbor gave me, and I soaked it in coffee to give it more of an aged look, and I'm ripping it so it will have those frayed edges. Once you get all of your strips ripped, now we're going to attach them to the tree form. And basically I'm just going to use some hot glue, and I just use a little dab, and I'm going to get my first layer started. Basically we're just going to wrap the whole cone tree form and just use your hot glue as you need it. And we're going to go all the way around it. And you don't have to go around in a consistent pattern, because we want this to look rustic and shabby looking. So just wrap it the best you can, and then when we get done going over the whole tree once, then we're going to go back and kind of add some more strips on top of this.
Well, I'm all for Christmas. All the happy smiles and the wishes, and I want it all, from the lights to the mistletoe. Tell me one thing, is there anything?
So once you get to the top, just keep wrapping until you get the point of your tree, and then just secure it down with some hot glue. Now I'm going to take some extra strips, and I'm just going to kind of go over the first layer just to give it more of a textured look. And you could go over it, you know, with some different type fabric if you wanted to. You could put something that had more of a pattern to it. You could put some plaid on it. You could wrap twine around it. So you could actually put whatever kind of top layer on it that you wanted to at this point. Okay, once you've got your tree wrapped, you can pretty much embellish this little tree any way you want to. There's so many options. You know, you can put jewelry on it. If you've got stars, you can put stars. I'm going to go with, I'm just going to make a bow for it, and I'm about to show you how I'm going to make a really fast and rustic looking little loop bow. And I'm taking the flower sackcloth fabric that I have, and I'm just going to rip some strips, and I'm going to loop it, and then I'm going to use some ribbon that I got at Big Lots. And I'm just going to put that on it, and then also I'm going to put a little hang tag that I purchased at Walmart last year.
May all your wishes tonight come true. The love I lived, the dream I knew. Well, I'm all for Christmas. It's a magical time full of kisses. Take a walk outside and tickle a snowman's nose.
I want to mention here, because this makes me remember that I have ordered some new craft scissors. These are really good scissors. I've used them for several years, and they're just now becoming dull. So if you're looking for some really good sharp craft scissors, good quality, I'm going to leave a link to the ones that I've ordered. And this pair, like I say, I ordered the very same pair because I loved them so much. I'm going to leave the link to those scissors down below. Okay, the second cone tree we're going to make is going to be a really easy one too. And I told y'all in my home tour video that you can make cone trees so easy out of poster board. You can get poster board at Dollar Tree or Dollar General. I didn't have a piece, and I didn't want to run out and get any, but I did use the backing of my scrapbook paper, and it was pretty much the same texture as poster board. And you just basically want to roll it up into a cone. I use some tape to secure it, and then I just cut around the bottom to make it level. Now with some hot glue, I'm going to take some strips of drop cloth, again, that I rip so they'll have frayed edges, and with some glue, hot glue, you just want to start tacking it down, and then every so often you're going to want to twist it just to give it, you know, that textured look. And as you go around, you'll kind of see, you know, how I'm doing it, and you just kind of want to keep going around until you've covered the whole cone.
Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells,
I want to point out that I use a very low temp hot glue gun. Me and high temp hot glue guns do not do well together, so usually in all my projects I use a very low temp glue gun. So I just want to mention that. So if you are using a high temp glue gun, please protect your fingers with this project. So at the end, after you've covered the whole tree, then you're going to want to just make sure you get to that point, glue it down, and make sure it goes to a point at the top, and that's all you do. Y'all, you can make these in all sizes.
I thought I'd take a ride, and soon Miss Fanny Bright was seated by my side. The horse was leaning.
Why, number 3 is going to be some songbook tassels. And this is such an easy little project to do, but they add such a great accent to any of your decor pieces. You just take a songbook page, and if you don't have a songbook or a book, you can also download songbook page printables. So, make sure to go out on Google and see if you can find one out there. So all you do is you want to fold it up like a fan, 1/2 inch increments. So I just took my ruler and I just marked some little 1/2 inch marks. But once you make your first fold, then you just fold over, to match that fold, and you'll have the 1/2 inch. So I just, then I unfolded it, and now you're going to want to cut in those little 1/2 inch strips, but you do not want to cut all the way up through the center. You want to leave the center intact. So you just want to go up, just where I have, and like I say, and leave that center where it is attached, because then we're going to fold it over after we've cut these little strips in half. So now we want to cut the 1/2 inch strips in half. And again, you do not want to cut through the center. You want to leave the center attached, because we are going to fold it over and we're going to make a tassel. So once you fold it over, I'm going to kind of bend the top of it, just kind of pull it together, and then I'm going to wrap some twine using some hot glue. I'm going to wrap some twine around the top, and then I'm going to add a couple little loops, and I'm going to add some ribbon to make a hanger. These are so cute and so easy to make. You could also stain these in some coffee to give them more of an aged look, and I think I'm going to make some like that too. But these will be so cute to embellish so many of our things around Christmas time. You can put these on your Christmas tree and use them as ornaments too. Now we're going to make a decorative box, and who doesn't have a bunch of these laying around? And especially when we get closer to Christmas, we're going to have a lot of these. So I'm just going to take a box that I got, something come in the mail, and basically we're going to chalk paint it. And I'm just going to show you how we can make a very inexpensive but very elegant looking decorative box to put around our Christmas tree, or just to decorate with. Chalk paint it, and I did this one linen white. And I don't know if you've ever chalk painted cardboard before, but it's very easy to chalk paint. It dries really fast and it looks really good. And now I'm just going to put some ribbons around it. This is the flour sackcloth I ripped, and I just glued it around the bottom and went across the top, and then I made a bow, and then I'm going to show you how cute those little tassels are going to be on this little decorative box.
Hold up, I am on my way, I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand. You ready? Doesn't matter just coming to visit.
This project here was a yard sale find. I actually was going to the grocery store that day and I saw a yard sale, you know, along the road. And I went, and it was actually a wedding event center that was going out of business. So I scored this really large cone tree. So I'm basically just going to spray paint it white, and then I'm going to show y'all how I decorate it for Christmas.
Last year I thought about how things can come around just like that if everyone is here to celebrate one day. We have our ups and downs, but when there's love, there's always a way. And oh, this time of year we come together to celebrate. Yes, every time the snow is falling down and it is cold outside, we gather around the fireplace and no one cares about yesterday. My favorite holiday, it means so much more than words can say.
Now that I've got the tree all painted, now I'm going to have to decide on my base. And I'm going to go with this little planter box. This came with a previous Christmas tree that had just gotten worn out and we threw it away. And I'd saved this little pot because I thought it was so pretty. So I think it's going to be the perfect addition for the tree.
This year I'll think about how I'm so lucky to have a place that I can come home to. Yes, I am on my way. We'll put our differences aside and just enjoy this moment of peace.
Now to decorate and embellish the front, I decided to go with just a Shabby Chic stencil that I purchased on Amazon, and I will link it below. So I'm just going to stencil, and I'm going to add a bow to it, and also I added a finial at the top of it just to give it a good little tree topper. And I got this at Lowe's. This is those little craft finial feet. I've used these in a lot of my videos, but I just painted it, and that's my tree topper.
Sometimes I tend to forget what glory this holiday represents. But it's fair to say that Christmas is a magic day.
Okay, another item I'm going to work on today, and this was at the same yard sale, and I paid $3 for this. As soon as I saw it, for some reason, this screamed Christmas to me, which you could use it all year long, but I don't know, it just looked like Christmas. The company name is homco, H-O-M-C-O. It's just hollow on the inside. It's very lightweight. It's like a kind of a hard type plastic. But anyway, I'm going to flip this because I think this has so much potential. So y'all stay tuned, and we're going to get to work on this right here.
This is a magic day. This year I'll think about how I'm so lucky to have a place that I can come home to. Yes, I am on my way. We'll put our
I ended up painting this with linen white Rust-Oleum chalk paint, and I went over it with a few coats, but I also did not, you know, really get real thick with the paint in some of the areas because I wanted to let some of that dark base come through. And now, to me, it kind of looks like it's got more of a concrete type texture.
face, and no one cares about yesterday.
And I'm just going to add a bow to it, and I think this is going to be a lovely addition to hang on the wall.
So much more than words can say, and I claim that Christmas is a magic day. Sometimes I tend to forget what glory this holiday represents, but it's fair to say that Christmas is a magic day.
We're going to take a Dollar Tree frame. This is a frame I purchased last year, And then I'm going to spray paint it white, and I'm also going to use a gift bag. You can find so many pretty gift bags. This one I got at Burke's Outlet for $1.50. You can also get them at Dollar Tree. But I just cut the gift bag to fit into the frame. I added a bow and a hanger, and look how cute this turned out. If you want to see how I stained this fabric pink to make this bow, I'm going to have a link to that video at the end of this video and also my description box. It is super easy. You can stain any kind of fabric you want, and it makes a very elegant and inexpensive bow.
And it is cold outside. We gather around the fireplace, and no one cares about yesterday. My favorite holiday. It means so much more than words can say. And I claim
This is an easy one and a really fun project. You're going to take some of those Dollar Tree garland ties, and you're going to want to take 10 Jingle blocks. These I've had that I used on a previous project, so I'm just going to reuse them. But basically, you just want to glue your Jingle blocks together using Elmer's wood glue, and then I always secure them on the back with popsicle sticks. I'm going to leave mine gray like they were, but you could also stain them brown if you want to. And then we're just going to go up. We're going to bend those little garland ties, and we're going to stagger them up on the Jingle blocks to form a Christmas tree. The first garland ties I'm going to use 5 at the original length that they came. I'm not going to clip these. I'm going to hot glue these up the stem of the tree, and I went about 4 Jingle blocks up before I started gluing them on. And as you can see, as you go up at the original length, as you stagger them, they kind of stagger up, and then you curl the ends and shape them into a tree.
last year I thought about how things can come around just like that if everyone is here to celebrate one.
Now after you get the 5 original length ones on, now I'm going to start to clip some shorter ones. And I'm going to do 2 at 10 inch. I'm going to also do 2 at 8 inch. I'm going to do 1 at 7 inch, 1 at 6 inch, and for the 2 short ones to make my topper, I'm going to do 2 at 4 inch.
And it is cold outside. We gather around the fireplace.
And I also wanted to add, if you're not using Jingle blocks for your trunk of your tree, and you could use something else, you could use a dowel if you wanted to. I think the 10 Jingle blocks that I used equaled out to be about 19 inches in length. Now that you've got them all glued on, now you just want to go around, you just kind of want to shape, the ends and just curl them up like you want them and just shape it into a Christmas tree. Once you get your tree shaped, I just used some Arteza wood slices I had on hand, and I made a base. You could also make a base out of more Jingle blocks and go that route. And here's the tree that's plain, and in a minute I'm going to show you how you can embellish it. You could, do so many things with it. You could put bows all over it. You could put pine cones in it. You could, spray some paint on it or some chalk paint and give it more of a flocked look. You could also put a star at the top. There's so many ways you could, really decorate this little tree. And you could also make them different sizes and have like a set of 2 or 3 of them. I think would be really pretty. So if you see those little garland ties at Dollar Tree, make sure to pick them up because you can use those in so many projects.
Sometimes I tend to forget what glory this holiday represents. But it's fair to say that Christmas is a magic day.
In this project, you're going to take a Dollar Tree bell. You want to remove all the little embellishments on it. And then we're going to spray paint it white. I've showed you in previous videos how we can coffee stain flour sackcloth. Well, now I'm going to show you how we can use some craft paint and a little bit of water, and you're going to make your own stain for it. So you can stain the flour sackcloth any color you want. I went with pink, and this is Princess Pink, and I think I got it at the craft section in Walmart. But just add some water to your paint. You want to water it down, and then you want to soak your strips or your fabric in it. You want to wring it out and then lay it out in layers and let it dry. And once it's dry, you've got some stained fabric. To finish off my bell, I printed out a digital download from Olive Rue's Etsy shop, and I'm going to link her information down below. And using some Gorilla Spray adhesive, I adhered it to the front of the bell, and then I added a bow. Now we're going to take a star from Dollar Tree. I spray painted it white, and then we're going to add a bow. And for this one, I used the coffee stained flour sackcloth.
Lean your ear this way. Don't you tell a single soul what I'm going to say. Christmas Eve is coming soon. Now are you, dear old man? Whisper what you'll bring to me. Tell me.
We're going to take another Dollar Tree ornament. This is the snowflake ornament. They come in a pack of 6. You want to take one of those, and then you'll want to get a watch face, or just take the band off your watch and just glue that in the center.
Stockings you will find hanging in a row. Mine will be the shortest one. You'll be sure to know.
And I added a bow and a hanger. For this project, we're going to take some more Dollar Tree deer ornaments. And for the first one we're going to split it in half, and this comes apart really easy. Next, we want to take a hang tag. You can get these either at Dollar General or Dollar Tree. And this is the one that I use. I'm going to flip it over on the back, and I'm going to chalk paint it and distress it. And I'm also going to show you some cute ribbon that I got at Big Lots. I got this in the kind of, I don't know, it's kind of a farmhouse red, and they also had it in kind of a sage green, and you'll see it in the video where I made a hanger out of the green. But it was $1.50, and I thought it was so cute, so I'm going to use it on this project. So all I did was pull apart the deer with my fingers. It's very easy to do. Then I reapplied the fur around its neck. I used some hot glue and attached it to my hang tag, and I added some bows for embellishments and also a hanger. The next deer, I just spray painted it cream. I put a vintage Shabby Chic little decal on it using my Gorilla Spray adhesive, and then I added a bow. We're going to take another Dollar Tree snowflake ornament. This one's metal. You want to take the embellishments off. I'm going to add some jewelry from Totally Dazzled and a hanger. We're going to take another deer ornament and we're going to spray paint it and add a bow, and also I put a hanger on it and put a bow on it. Now I'm going to show you how I made an easy pre-lit shabby chic garland. Alright, let's get started. I got a string of lights. There's 20 on this one, and I use white since I'm going for the shabby chic, but you can also use green or any color lights you want. You'll want to take some strips of fabric, and I use scraps. You'll need one cat to help on this project. Okay, now that we got the kitty cat down, back to our project. I cut my strips of lace and fabric about 10 to 12 inches, but you can make it, your strips as long or short as you want. And basically you just want to tie them on. I just tied mine in a knot, but you could also, loop them on if you'd rather, do that. And just go all the way down the string of the lights. And then when I got done, if I had any that were a little bit too long, I just went around and I trimmed those. Now the options here with your fabric and your lace, you can use just about anything. You can get real creative. You can go more of the cozy theme and farmhouse and use flannels. You can use buffalo check, plaid, twine. You could even put raffia on it. So you can pretty much just do whatever theme you want in whatever color. So y'all just sit back now. I'm going to stage it for you. I'm going to show you some ways that we can use it, because this right here is such an easy and inexpensive piece, but it's such a great accent piece for our Christmas decor. Okay, the next project is going to be a scrap wood Christmas tree. And I'm going to take some scrap pieces of wood that I had around my home, and I'm just going to arrange them in the shape of a tree. And as you can see, I just kind of staggered the wood pieces up until I got the shape that I wanted. And then I'm going to go and cover the pieces of wood separately. I'm going to cover them with assorted pieces of scrapbook paper and graphic downloads that I got from Olive Rue.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you.
Now the easiest way I found to cover the wood, if you want to use Mod Podge you can. Mod Podge and stencils hate me. So I don't use it any more than I have to. I'll go outside, I sprayed the wood with my Gorilla spray adhesive, and then I'm just going to form the graphic around the wood. And this is one that I got from Olive Rue out of her Etsy shop. This was a beautiful piece of a graphic, and I love the bird on it. So basically I just covered the sides really good, and I'm going to let a little bit of the glue dry before I start working with the other ends. To me that's a little bit easier, because if not, when you're working with glue and Mod Podge, it gets all over your fingers and then it's going to stick to the part you don't want it to stick to, and then you end up tearing up or messing up your project. So again, I just spray the wood really good, and then I place my graphic on top. And this is another one that I got from her Etsy shop. I love this one. It's like a vintage invoice, and then you can see using the spray adhesive, it is forgiving. If if you place it down in the wrong area, you can lift it back up and place it back down. And so I just put a little bit more glue on the side there just so it will adhere really good. And like I say, I'll work with the top and the bottom in just a minute. Now I varied the colors and the patterns of my pieces of wood, and now I'm going to use a little bit of Mod Podge on the ends, because this way it will seal it down a lot better with the Mod Podge. But I let the spray adhesive glue dry really good, and now I'm going to start working with my sides and the tops and the bottoms that will show once you put your tree together. And then I'm going to show you a couple ways you can do them. The first way is you could just, lift it over. And now I'm going to show you this way. You can also do it like if you're wrapping a gift. You just kind of tuck your corners in, and then just, fold them back on the back, and then secure it really good down with some Mod Podge. Another way you can cover the ends of the wood is you can just trace around it and cut a strip out, for the area that you need, and just Mod Podge it on. After I got my wood slices covered, I secured them some with some Elmer's wood glue in between, and then I also secured it on the back with popsicle sticks. This is an ornament from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to split it in half, and I'm going to use part of it for this project, and then I'm going to use the other half in another project. This is part 1 of some Christmas inspiration, and I'm going to have part 2 coming out in a couple of days. So make sure you like this video, and make sure you're subscribed to our channel so you don't miss part 2. Now I'm going to show you how to make this really cute shabby chic rag Christmas tree. But you basically just want to take a flour sackcloth, and you want to just put it in some coffee. And this is just leftover coffee from that morning, and you just want to saturate it really good and then let it dry. And then you can just rip strips of this, and it works really well with the projects. So here I'm just taking some of my Arteza wood slices. I glued them together with Elmer's wood glue. And I put a 12-inch dowel down in them, and we drilled like a 1-inch hole for the dowel to go down into, and then secured it a little bit with some wood glue. Now I'm taking the strips of my drop cloth and my flour sack cloth, and I'm just going to alternate, but you want to start out with 11-inch strips, and you're going to want to do 10 strips, and you're just going to go around the dowel, and you're just going to tie them on. This is super easy, and this part goes really fast. You will need to cut 10 strips of 11-inch, 10 strips of 10-inch, and you're just going to alternate an inch. You're going to stagger up an inch until we get to 5 inches. So basically you're going to have 11 inches, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, and 5 inches. And you're going to need 10 strips of each size. And like I say, you just go around the dowel and you just tie them on. So here's what it's looking like so far. I love it. It's looking good. I did 8-inch, but now I'm showing you 7. So basically, like I say, I'm just going through, you're just tying them on. And when we get done with it, then we're just going to embellish the top. And you can put any kind of little topper on it you want. You can put a star. And I'm going to embellish mine with some bling from Totally Dazzled. And I'm going to also leave a link to their website down below. So if you need any fun bling or even Christmas gifts, go out and shop their website. Now we're going to take 4 tumbling blocks from Dollar Tree, and you're going to need some wood glue, and you just want to wood glue the 4 blocks together. And then I'm going to take some Gorilla spray adhesive and another graphic from Olive Rue. I love this one. I love the vintage. I love the Victorian style to it, and I just applied it to the top of my Jingle blocks that I had painted with some chalk paint. I think I used chiffon cream. You could also use white. I made a bow out of that coffee stained flour sack and just hot glued a hanger on it. DIY number 4. I'm going to use the same Victorian style printable, and I'm going to show you another idea. Take a little Dollar Tree 2x3 frame, chalk paint it, and just put your printable right in there. And then I added another bow and an old clock face. I just took a clock face out of, not a clock face, a watch face, and just took it out of an old watch. DIY number 5. Now I'm going to take, I think this is a little cookie cutter or some kind of little mini tart pan. I thought it was cute. Anyway, I took the same printable, another idea for this graphic, because she gives you several of these on one sheet. So I just cut it out the size of the little circle, and then I used some Gorilla adhesive, and I glued it in the center, and I added some embellishments. DIY number 6. We're going to make a hang tag, and can we have enough of these? I think I picked them up everywhere I went, but we're going to use the back of it, so you want to peel the stickers off, and then you want to chalk paint it your desired color. I did chiffon cream, and then I distressed it around the edges. I'm going to take another graphic that I got from Olive Rue, and is this one not gorgeous? I love her, and I'm going to basically cut her all the way out, and she was pretty easy to cut out, and this actually brought back fond childhood memories of when we used to make our own paper dolls. So I'm going to take some spray adhesive and apply her to the hang tag. Now I'm going to use a pencil and just kind of make that hole just a little bit bigger, and that actually is pretty easy to do, so we can get some more ribbon through it. But I'm going to put 2 strands of ribbon through it, and this is that coffee stained flour sack cloth. And then I'm just going to tie this, and then I'm going to put a bow on top of that, and then I'm going to add a hang tag. DIY number 7. We're going to take some Farmhouse. This is a Farmhouse looking star to me, but I'm going to show you how we can add a couple of things to it, and we can kick it up a shabby chic notch. So I'm going to take some totally dazzled jewelry that I have, and I'm just going to hot glue them in the center of each of the stars. Both of these stars were $1. I think I got the wooden one at the Target bullseye section, and I think the little galvanized one come from Dollar General. But I just add a bow to it and a hanger, and look how cute these are. Now let's make a Christmas tree out of some wired ribbon. And we're going to use a 1x48 wood dowel. You can get these at Walmart or Lowe's. And I'm going to take some wired ribbon that I have, and I'm going to cut 3-inch strips. And for the first layer, you're going to need 6 strips. And you want to position it on your dowel to where you'll have a little bit of the trunk showing. And then I'm going to go around and hot glue all around in a circle. And you're going to use 6 strips for this. When you get the first layer glued on, then we're going to do one more layer of 3-inch. So basically, when you work on the tree, you're going to want to do 2 layers of the 3-inch, and then we're going to go and cut some that are going to be 2.5-inch, and we're going to do 2 layers of those, and then we're just going to stagger it up, and then we'll do 2 layers of 2-inch, and the smallest at the top will go 1.5-inch. Now once you get your tree completely covered, now you'll want to make the top. Now I made the top separate, and you're going to want to just do 1.5 strips, and you're going to want to just pull them together at a point, and then you're going to want to add some hot glue just to coat them together, and that is going to kind of form the top of your tree to kind of make it go in like a little, a tip, and then I'm going to hot glue it and place it on top, and then I'm just going to add a bow. Now the base of my tree, I use some of my Arteza wood slices, and I'm going to link their website down below, so if you're interested in ordering these, I will have all the information down in my description box. Now we're going to make some Christmas tree hanging tags. You can pick these tags up at Dollar General or Dollar Tree, and you'll want to use the back of them, so you'll want to remove the stickers, and then you just want to paint them the desired color. I chalk painted mine chiffon cream, and then I distressed them around the edges. I went out to Graphics Fairy and I printed out a free printable, and then you'll want to cut out a pattern of a tree, and that'll be your pattern, to trace around it and cut it out. And I used a piece of scrapbook paper also. And here you can make the holes of your tags a little bit bigger. If you put something round in them, you can kind of work them and make them a little bit larger so we can put some lace through them. And then I just contrasted my trunks just to kind of add a little bit more, detail to them. And then I'm going to take some flour sackcloth. These are great to work with, y'all. And then I'm just going to soak them in some leftover coffee from that morning. And you just want to soak them and just get them, covered really good with the coffee, and then just let them dry. And then you can just rip it, in strips. And now I'm going to add a hanger. You just want to basically tie it, through the hole, tighten a knot, and then that'll be your hanger. If you have trouble getting it through the holes, I just use a little pair of tweezers, and then I'm just going to tie this one in a knot, and then I'm going to embellish each tree with a pearl, and then I'm also going to show you how I make loop bows. To make these bows, it's really easy. All you're doing is looping and pinching in the middle. And then I'm going to add another layer of the bow right here, and you just add on to it on the back. And once you tie it in the center, your bow will come together. But these make the cutest little primitive shabby chic little bows. Now I'm showing you right here, you can add the bows to the top or you can add them to the bottom. And I went with the bottom, and then I'm going to embellish the top of the tree with a pearl. And these little pearls that I'm going to use for the top of the tree, they're flat on one side, and you can pick these up at Dollar Tree.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel, fa la 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 la.
The next project I'm going to show you is how we can make some cute Christmas ornaments, some little Christmas trees, and we're going to cover them with various things like songbook pages and scrapbook paper. But you can pick these little trees up at Dollar General, and they're $1 pack, and you get 6 in them, and they're supposed to fit together and be like 3D trees. But I use them just, I'm going to cover them with some more scrapbook paper and a graphics and some graphics from the graphics fairy. Now I'm taking a piece of coffee stained drop cloth, so you can either use a flour sack or you can use a piece of drop cloth, and I'm just going and I'm looping from side to side. And basically what you're going to do is I'm just going to I'm making an X, and so you'll do 3 of those, and then I'm going to embellish each one, and then I'm going to add a hanger to the top with some hot glue and some embellishments. I also made one using some scrapbook paper that I had and embellished it with a bow. Took a page out of a hymnal book, and I distressed it with some coffee grinds. I added a bow and some vintage jewelry.
Fast away the old year passes, la 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 la. Hail the new year, lads and lasses, la 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 la.
This next project is probably one of the easiest one of all, but it's also one of the prettiest. Let's take a glass or a plastic Christmas ornament. You can purchase these plastic ones at Dollar General, Dollar Tree. Just remove the top and put any kind of vintage jewelry or pearls or whatever you want in it that'll fit through the hole. And then I just tied another one of those bows with a key and stick it down inside. You add the top back on it, add some lace for a hanger, and it makes the cutest Christmas ornament to add to your shabby chic decor tree.
Rejoice all together, fa la 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 la. Heedless of the wind and weather, fa la 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 la.
Now I'm about to show you how to make this really pretty rag ball Christmas ornament. And you just want to pick up a styrofoam ball. You can get these at Dollar Tree. And then I just used some drop cloth that I stained in coffee again. It gives it that really good little, worn rustic look. And then you just tear it in strips. Now you just want to go around the ball and you want to hot glue it around the ball. Now there's no pattern to this. You just kind of want to go with the flow of the ball and just kind of use your own judgment as you go of, where you need to put a strip. Now this is the flour sackcloth that I've been working with in the video that I soaked in coffee. I love this stuff because it rips really good, and I don't know, it just has this little primitive rustic look to it, so I really enjoy using this on my projects. But I'm going to make a little loopy bow, and again, you just make loops and pinch it in the middle with your fingers, and then we're going to tie it off in the center. Once you get your bow made, we're going to secure it to the top with a little bit of hot glue. We're going to add a hanger, and then I'm going to embellish the top with some Totally Dazzled bling. I'm going to leave a link to their website down below, so if you want to go out and shop their website for some bling for your upcoming projects, I'll have it down below. And I showed y'all how I took these scrap wood pieces. I covered them with some digital downloads from Olive Rue's Etsy shop and some scrapbook paper, and I made this cute little tree. And also the little red stripe lady hang tag, I made that in part 1. But now I'm going to repurpose those wood pieces. I'm going to show y'all another option. I took them apart, and I repurposed this frame that I made in a previous video, but I just basically took a frame and I made a chalkboard out of it. And I'm going to use it now for my backdrop. I'm just going to reshape the pieces onto my frame using some hot glue. I'm going to add a bow, and now I've got another cute little shabby chic Christmas tree. In this project, we're going to take those flour sackcloths that I showed y'all in part 1, and we're just going to stain them. You get 2 in a pack at Dollar General for $2. So basically, one of these is going to be $1, and we can do so much with one flour sackcloth. You can also probably get these off Amazon or Walmart, but I think the best deals at Dollar General. But I just took some leftover coffee. I soaked the cloth. You don't even really have to soak it. You just have to cover it in the coffee and let it dry. So there's really no soaking time. And then you want to take some coffee filters, and we're also going to soak these coffee filters in coffee. And I'm going to show you a cute way and very easy way we can make a flower to embellish our Christmas ornaments. You want to squeeze all the excess coffee out of them. You just want to separate them and lay them up somewhere in a single layer and let them dry. Once they're dry, you just want to crunch them up. Just get them and ball them up, because the more they're crunched up, the better they're going to look. And I took 3, and you just kind of layer them on top of each other, and then you just kind of form them and shape them into a flower. Once you get them shaped, I just took a little pearl and I used some hot glue, and I just glued it in the center. And then just to kind of make the stem a little bit shorter, I just used some hot glue and just kind of folded it up. And now it'll lay on our ornament a lot better. I'm going to take these styrofoam balls I showed y'all in part 1 and made some ornaments out of. We're going to make some more ornaments. You can get these at Dollar Tree. I just took some of the flour sackcloth that I stained, and I just cut a piece that would cover the ball, and you're just going to gather it at the top. And once you get it gathered, I took a strip of the stained flour sackcloth, and it just made like a ribbon out of it, and I'm just going to tie it around and tie it really tight. Now you'll want to get your scissors and just trim across the top. Now you can embellish this one with the flower, but I'm going to make a loop bow and embellish this one with a loop bow and some jewelry that I got from Totally Dazzled. And I'm going to have a link to Totally Dazzled down below. So if you need any jewelry for your projects, just go out to their website. They have a great selection. Now I'm going to add a hanger to it, and I got these hangers from Walmart. Now I'm going to take another styrofoam ball, and depending on what you're covering, it's kind of like the pumpkins. You can drill 2 holes, 1 in each end, or if you just need 1 hole, just drill 1 hole. I've covered mine in some lace that I got off of a top I wasn't wearing anymore, and I had stained that lace in coffee also. I stuck the flower on it that I just made, again with a bow, and then I just added a strip of the flower sackcloth that I ripped and made a hanger. We're going to take this little sign that I got at Dollar Tree last year. It was green, and I spray painted it white. You just take the hanger off, and we're going to replace the hanger with some ripped fabric. We're also going to add some embellishments to the eye. I made a looped bow. I added some greenery and a pine cone. I've had a lot of viewers ask me about the Decoupage bird books. I did do a video on how to make those, and I will have a link to that video down in my description box. Now I'm going to take, these are called craft finials. You can buy these at Lowe's. They're on the aisle where you have like the staircase, banister, post, and stuff like that. My Lowe's sells them, but I don't know. You may have to order these online, but you get 2 in a pack, and I think the whole pack is like under $5 or $6 for 2. You just take the screw out of it, and I painted it. I chalk painted it chiffon cream. You just add a bow and some bling to it and a hanger, and look what a cute Christmas ornament this makes. Here's another fun and really easy project that makes a great ornament for your tree. You can make these into gift tags, or you can make these into Christmas ornaments. I'm repurposing a wooden gift tag that I had. I had painted it in a previous project. I think I painted it celery, chalk paint from Waverly. I just used some spray adhesive. I glued my graphic onto it and added a hanger and a bow. Now I'm going to take another printable download from Olive Rue, and it's going to be a book cover. She has some beautiful book covers, and I chose this one. I've got a book that you can take books from Dollar Tree. I got this book from a thrift store. You just want to cut your paper out, and you just wrap it around your book, and then again I use spray adhesive. I sprayed down my book and just wrapped the cover on it, and it was super easy to make. And then I just embellished it again with a bow and some greenery and a pine cone. In the last few projects, I'm going to show you some projects that I worked on. Some of these were free, and some of these are really like trash to treasures. I got some sticks from my yard. I'm going to show you how to make some cute Christmas trees. And I'm also going to show you how we can recycle some of those cans that we always throw away and make some really cute Christmas decor out of them. First project I'm going to work on is going to be some $1 wood tags. I acquired these from a yard sale, and I got 2 of them, and they both had this J on them. And if I'd have got an O and a Y, I could have really done something. But anyway, with 2 J's, I ended up taking the J's off, and they were very easy to pry off. I just got a butter knife and pried them off real easily. So I'm just going to show you how we can turn these into some Victorian Santa tags that will look really good with our decor during Christmas. I printed out some Victorian Santas off of the Graphics Fairy website. These are free printables, and they have so many to choose from, so it's hard to decide which ones I wanted to go with, but I chose these. I just cut each one out, and then I used some Mod Podge and applied them to the tags. Project number 2 is going to be some vintage inspired cans. Now I used some coffee cans, but you can use any kind of cans you want to. I chalk painted them linen white, and then I'm going to show you how we're going to distress them with some used coffee grinds just to give them that vintage worn look. So basically I just took my coffee grinds left over from that morning, and you just want to take them and just rub them all over your can. Then I got a paper towel and just brushed them off. Now I did one can pretty distressed, and the other one I just lightly distressed it, just to give you a couple of options and how they look both ways. Now I went back out to the Graphics Fairy again, and I downloaded this graphic, and I'm going to cut it in half. Then I'm going to go around the edges and barely dampen around the edges and just rip it to give it that worn, torn look. And then I applied them to the can using some Mod Podge. Now next we're going to do some wood slice Victorian Santa. Again, a free printable from the Graphics Fairy, and these are the wood slices I got from Arteza. I will leave a link to Arteza's website down below if you're interested, and then I just use some Mod Podge to apply the Santa. Next project is going to be some rustic stick trees. These are so easy, and some of these are going to be free. Of course, your sticks are free if you have, trees in your yard. I just went outside and got some sticks. You just basically break them, and then you just shape them in the shape of a tree, and then once you get them in the shape you want, then I just hot glued them onto my backgrounds. The first background I showed you come from Walmart out of the craft section. It was between $2 to $3, very inexpensive, and it comes this whitewash color, so you don't even have to paint it. And I'm just showing you a couple of different options of embellishments. You can use some fur on this one just to give it more of a rustic feel. And the little bark I used, of the trunk of the tree, I just used some little tags. I got it Walmart last year. And this is some flat back pearls that I'm going to apply to it that I got at Dollar General for $1. I'm going to show you another way we can create that background. If you don't have access to Walmart or don't want to go out, this is a pizza cardboard pizza round that I saved from our frozen pizza from other night's dinner. Don't throw those away. I just went over it with one layer of chalk paint very lightly, and as you can see, and I've always told y'all, cardboard chalk paints very well. And you can see, it looks like that distressed look, and you can compare them to the two when I stage everything and put the two together with the Walmart background and then your pizza round. And then again, I just broke up my sticks and I shaped me a tree, used some hot glue, and then I'm going to attach them to the pizza round and add some embellishments.
This year I'll think about how I'm so lucky to have a place that I can come home to. Yes, I am on my way. We'll put our differences aside and just enjoy this moment of peace and love and happiness. We come together to celebrate. Yes, every time the snow is falling down and it is cold outside, we gather around the fireplace and no one cares about yesterday.
I hope you're enjoying the video so far. And if you watched any of my videos in the past, you know that I love to show you how you can make cute decor for your home without spending a lot of money. So I'm giving you several options here of things, like I say, that could be things that we would normally throw in the trash and how we can recreate them to make some really cute Christmas decor. And these projects all were so much fun to make. I think the coffee cans turned out so cute, and there's so many things you can do with these. You can put your kitchen utensils in them, you can pair them, more out on a tray. These little candy canes I stuck in there, and I really think they just added a bright note to it, and I picked those up at Dollar General for 33 cents.
And it is cold outside. We gather around the fireplace and no one cares about yesterday. My favorite holiday. It means so much more than words can say. And I claim Christmas is a magic.
Alright y'all, I don't know about y'all, but I am so ready to start my Christmas DIY project. So from here on out to the first of the year, of course, we're going to be working on Christmas now. I hope y'all got a lot of ideas. I know I did just from editing this video. I forgot about a lot of these projects and a lot of these things I've made. And I'm going to make some more of these this year because I'm doing a whole different thing for Christmas in my home. Now I want to thank everybody that watched my yard sale video and you tried to guess the price for the haul. The price for the total haul that I showed in my video was $125. So if you guessed that, you were eligible for the giveaway. But the two winners were Sandy Largent and Maggie Flatt. Congratulations, y'all. Get in touch with me via email and I'll give you the details and I'll get your calendar sent out. As always, y'all, I appreciate y'all watching. I hope you got lots of inspiration today. And I'm going to link another Christmas video that I didn't get in this one. It's this little shag yarn tree. I think it turned out really fun, so I'm going to attach it below if you want to go out and see how I made it.